Now that you've had time to draw some surfaces, the next is to edit surfaces. And that's what this next video series does. We're going to take a look at 3 toolboxes on the Tool Surfaces frame. The first one is the Modify Surfaces toolbox, and we'll go into fair detail with each of these tools. Then take a very quick look at the Modify B-Spline Surfaces toolbox and the Surface Utilities toolbox. Now, to help things along, as always, I have given you the profiles for the first toolbox. So if you would open the file called module 10 profiles.dgn in your working files folder, then we can begin. Now you notice something slightly different on the right side here. I've opened a second window and I've made this a right isometric view, so you can see the sort of backside of the examples, because sometimes you can't quite see what's actually happened from a standard isometric view. So let's begin. I'm going to open the toolbox, of course. First up is Trim Surfaces. I'm going to zoom in and look at this set of profiles, which is what you're seeing on the right side as well. We have, as you can see, a curved surface and a tubular surface intersecting each other. Now, as you can see from the Tool Settings window, there are quite a few settings here, and a lot depends on how we set this up. So we can trim the first surface that we select, or we can trim the second surface that we select, or we can trim both of them. We can flip the surfaces if we have made the wrong choice from the selections above, and we can flip the first on its own or the second on its own. And we can make copies of the first trim surface or the second trim surface. We can also convert the surface to a B-spline, which I don't want to do right now, which changes the nature of the original surfaces. So let's start with the plain simple trim first surface. And I'm going to select the yellow curved surface as my first surface. So I data point on that, then data point on the second surface, the tube, and data point again. Now, automatically we see that there is a hole in the first surface, so that has been trimmed, but the tube has been untouched. And we have just a hole in the first surface, but nothing at all in the second surface. So the first surface is trimmed. Let's undo that. Start the tool again. Let's trim the first and the second surface this time. So again, first surface, second surface, data point, data point. Now we've trimmed it, and the tube has been trimmed at the surface. The curved surface has also been trimmed. So pretty straightforward, really. Let's undo both of those. Let's go back and do this again, but this time let's reverse the selection order. So I'm going to trim that one, which is surface number 1, and that one, which is now surface number 2. And we'll data point. And now we see that because I selected this tube on this side, it's been trimmed in this direction. Previously, I selected the tube on this side, and it trimmed that portion of it. So depending where you select a surface depends on where it's trimmed. So experiment with that a little bit. Try different combinations, try flipping, try making a copy, try converting to a B-spline surface to see what those results are.